And Gary, do you remember when I said, talk to him, he's a nice young man? Do you remember what she said?
She said, I don't know about him. I don't want to talk to him and then she pointed right at me.
Yeah. And then when I tried to say, no, he's really, when I tried to say, no, he's really nice and, you know, he's trying to interview you, it's for a class, she actually had said some things that were a little racist.
Like what?
Just like, you know, I'm just a little white lady. I can't be hanging out with the, well, she didn't say hanging out, but I can't be alone with the big old black boy.
Hey, Gary, you want to
Yeah, she was
have
the
it?
one.
How did they act when you first walked in?
The people acted like they didn't want us there.
Alright. How do you think they felt about living in the nursing home?
They wanted to get out.
They wanted to get. What did they say that seemed to surprise them? Or what did you say that seemed to surprise them?
That
You don't know? What was something they said that surprised you?
that they don't get very many visitors, and they're really happy to see us there.
We're really happy to see this. What was something, what did you learn overall from the experience?
That you need to enjoy life. You need to enjoy it while it lasts. And when you get old, you're not going to be able to enjoy it.
Wow. Wow. Tear up here.
All right, tell me the story.
All right, so this guy was working for what is now the Greensboro Grasshoppers, and he had his hat on backwards because it was too big. So his boss came up and yelled at him to turn his head around and don't look professional. And in the middle of that, he yelled and said, "I don't have to listen to you, you fat ass," and just walked off.
Question. Why do you think this is really all I'm trying to get you all to think about this whole semester, really? Why do you think it is important to go out and do service work like this? And let's go around, and let's start with Reggie, because he said something.
I guess we better ourselves.
How does it better yourself?
Let's expand the horizon on a certain aspect of life.
Okay, sounds good.
So how did you feel when you first arrived at Collapse Child Home?
I was like, it's about to be kind of boring, but it wasn't.
So when you first met up with one of the roommates, people there,
Yeah.
what was like some of the questions you asked him?
We asked, where is he born? What type of car did he have? Was he in any wars? What was his wife's names? If he had any children? That type of stuff, family background, history.
Were you surprised at any of the questions that he asked you?
He really didn't ask us no questions.
Did he say anything crazy or like cool
Oh
that he
yeah,
liked?
he told us that back in World War II, over in the rain, down Rhine River, over in England, Europe, he blew somebody head off.
What?
Yep, straight through the scope of the M16.
It don't matter.
Called you Sasquatch, dude.
Yeah, he did call me a Sasquatch. You better be
So
glad.
it was in high school.
He was old.
Called his coach a fat ass.
He's about 6'5" and he's pretty tall.
He looked like Steve-O if he was old, like an old version of Steve-O.
And he played baseball. A lot of baseball.
Yeah. He said everything shrinks when you get old. And he was like,
We all
like-
laugh.
We all started laughing,
right?
Yeah.
and then he called us perverts.
oh, yeah. Yeah,
Good times.
That's it.
It's very good.
this is very good. We should watch that, see how it looks.
I think he likes chicken.
Yeah,
Fried chicken.
and watermelon.
Kool-Aid too. Maybe he was like a black guy on the inside.
He played basketball like a black guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He can dunk. He can dunk.
And baseball.
Oh, you're reading your questions? All right.
When you were at the nursing home, what did you do?
We talked to as many people as we could.
How did you feel before and after you went to the nursing home?
Before I felt kind of cocky, and after I felt kind of humble.
What surprised you about your trip to the nursing home?
That one woman said that they pick on her, and people don't ever see them, so it's kind of Alright, now, what did you learn when you were at the nursing home that you didn't know before? Not to take life for granted. What was the funniest story you heard in the nursing home? I don't really remember any funny stories. Wait, what was one? I don't remember. That wasn't me. What was the most meaningful moments that you had at the nursing home? When we talked to that woman and she would say something about her grandson, and then she'd ask if she had a grandson. So her mind was really kind of gone.
Yeah.
It just makes me remember the whole experience.
Why?
Because if I'm the only one left in my family, or nobody comes and visit me, I'm out.
Wow, that's sad.
It's not. It's just if I'm too old to go, like not be able to work or not be able to make it in the day-to-day, routine of everything. What's the point?
Okay. Alright, so what do you do with them when you're there?
I mean, ask a couple questions, play a couple games, checkers. You gotta beat at it.
Oh, exactly. Alright, how do you think they felt about you talking to them?
I mean, there's one lady, she talked to us a little bit, but most of them, they didn't want to answer a couple questions.
Alright, so what do you think surprised them the most?
That we actually came to visit them.
So what have you learned from this experience?
I mean, I learned, never take life for granted, because, maybe sometime in life will be you sitting up there in a nursing home,
Alright, what was the most funniest or memorable moment you remember?
The lady I talked to, I think her name was Elizabeth. She told us, she was like, I asked her if she used to play basketball. She was like, yeah. I was like, were you good at it? She was like, hell no, I wasn't good at it.
Alright, so what do you remember the most from nursing? What really kind of stuck in your head?
That most of them, remember most of the things that they were told, most of the questions that they were asked. So.
Alright.
How did that change the way you all felt about getting older, or how you might think about planning for your future?
Well, I would want to end up like them, but even though most of them don't get with it, I would want somebody to but what we did for them, I would want somebody to try to do the same thing. I just wouldn't want to sit there and just dying like nobody come around and see me. I don't want people to come see me like that.
That's cute. We love you. What?
I'll go visit you. Gotta tell me what problem.
So, how did you feel when you found out that we were going to Claps retirement home?
Well, I wasn't too happy because I really didn't want to go and mess with old people.
So, why didn't you want to mess with the old people?
Because I'm not really used to being around them much. I'm used to being around smaller kids and stuff.
How do you think they feel when they seeing you?
I think they're happy because most people don't have others that come in and come say hey to them and stuff.
So, what do you think surprised you the most of your trip to Claps?
One of the guys, Mr. Howard, he talking about his dog and his truck that he wanted to see, but he didn't have a dog, or his truck's not even there. And it was sad to see that he wanted to go see it, but he couldn't see it. So yeah.
So, what did y'all do with the after we put on y'all little performance? What did y'all do after that?
We went and play games with some of the roommates.
So, yeah, I think a couple more questions for you. What did you think of Miss Roops' performance?
Miss Roots' performance, I think she needed some help a little bit, but she did her thing with the yoga, I guess. It was cool.
So, what was you like on the way back from Tribune on the bus? What was your feelings and thoughts about what happened?
I felt good about what I did, helping out the old people, knowing that they're going to be happy that day if someone came and saw them. So I felt good about that.
Would you go back?
I will go back.
Do stuff like that, just like I'm doing.
We'll bring in certain.
It'll all, and then it'll all come around. What goes around comes around.
You happen to ask what the elderly did on their free time?
They kind of just sat in their rooms or played poker or something.
How'd you feel when you were talking to them?
Well, a couple of them didn't really have anything to say to me, but one I enjoyed like listening to his stories about when he was in high school and the army.
What kind of questions do you think surprised them the most?
When I asked him about the highest piece of technology they had back then or something like that.
What kind of technology did he bring up?
They had like washing machines and stuff.
What do you think they learned from being visited from, younger people?
What I learned?
No, yeah, what you learned.
Well, I learned a lot about like the history,
Did they tell you anything funny that might have happened back in their days?
Well, one guy told us about he played baseball and he always wore his hat backwards, and his coach told him to turn his hat around, and he said, "I don't have to listen to you, fat ass," and left. Thought that was pretty funny.
Were there any meaningful moments for you?
Not really. I just went in there and did what I had to do.